I joined the Ratchet & Clank fan club pretty late, but man, what a great decision. I love Tools of Destruction and A Crack in Time, but Ratchet & Clank All for One is way different than the others. This is the first time we've seen cooperative multiplayer enter the series. You can finally control Ratchet, Clank, Quark, and the one and only Dr. Nefarious on a quest across the galaxy. Multiplayer adds a new, fun flavor to the familiar action, but the Ratchet formula had to be tweaked in the process. Yes, there are a few disappointments, but at the end of my journey, I can still look in the mirror and say, man, I am so glad I joined this fan club.
The Darkstar Fission Tether is perfect for electrifying enemies on the battlefield.
All for One continues the story of A Crack in Time. Ratchet and Clank want a retirement from all the heroics, but when Dr. Nefarious shows up, things take an unlikely turn. An even greater enemy rears its metallic head, and old enemies become new friends. This plot didn't quite click with me in the same way that Clank's origin story did in A Crack in Time, but you're still in for a real treat. If you're jumping from A Crack in Time into All for One, heed my warning. This isn't as pretty as the previous Ratchet games on the PS3. It's an understandable dip in quality, considering the 4-player co-op both locally and online. Fortunately, the colorful characters and worlds the series prides itself in return. In fact, I'd go so far as to say the characters of this universe steal the show. Amazing stuff.
He just destroyed Rusty Pete's Healthy Hamburger Shack. Its vegan wheatgrass and tree bark burger was a favorite of hipsters everywhere.
It's all about the multiplayer here, folks. Take all the platforming, puzzle solving, and shooting you know and love from Ratchet and add 3 buddies. Actually, be careful if you do. 4-player co-op gets a little banana cakes. Just watch this footage. My god. The ideal here is 2-player. It feels great and the chaos of battle only gets slightly bonkers. But I gotta tip my hat to the folks at Insomniac. I played the majority of All for One solo, and the AI-powered Clank did a mighty fine job keeping up with me. Barring a few horrible, horrible deaths, Clank did exactly what I needed him to do, and All for One stayed enjoyable from start to finish. Mainly thanks to my old vice, bolt collecting. It's the sweet, sweet money of the Ratchet universe, and it is addictive and glorious. You can probably predict the complaints I have with All for One. When you take a franchise that enjoys full 3D environments and lock the camera to a fixed and occasionally inconvenient position, you feel restricted. It works and facilitates co-op, but I didn't have the same sense of freedom and wonderment as I did with A Crack in Time. Also, there are a few glitches here and there that frustrated me, including a nasty pair during the final boss. But I got through it and rejoiced in a few ending twists.
Analyzing. Ah, yes. These figures seem optimal. Very promising.
Did I enjoy playing Ratchet & Clank All for One? You bet. The game shines when it calls for players to work together to solve puzzles and beat the bad guys. The world feels a little more restricted thanks to that locked camera, and a few glitches and some slowdown roll through now and then. But I encourage you guys and gals to play through this one, especially if you have a friend interested in hunkering down for the long haul. For more on Ratchet & Clank All for One, you know what to do. Hit IGN.com.